What are we doing here? This is not racing. It's a joke. Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen wasn't just frustrated after the Belgian Grand Prix, he was furious. Rain hammered Spa, but it wasn't the weather that soaked Formula One in controversy. It was the FIA. They delayed. They hesitated. They neutralized the race behind a safety car like it was a Sunday drive through a storm. And Max? He lost it. To him, this wasn't just another wet race. It was an insult to real drivers, an embarrassment to the sport. While others tiptoed around visibility concerns, Verstappen exploded over the radio. If you can't see, you can always lift. But no one listened, and as he slipped off the podium and watched his championship hopes drown, Verstappen made one thing crystal clear. This was not Formula One. The 2025 Belgian Grand Prix was supposed to be a turning point. Instead, it became a turning stomach. After torrential rain soaked the Ardennes hours before lights out, chaos gripped the paddock. Teams scrambled with tire strategies. Fans waited with bated breath. But the FIA, they stalled? For more than 80 minutes, cars sat idle. 4 full laps behind the safety car later, the race began. But by then, the tension was already boiling. Verstappen had seen enough. He didn't understand the caution. In his view, this wasn't the first time Formula One was retreating from the very thing it was built on: risk. It was wet. So what? It's always been wet at Spa. He wasn't alone in thinking it, but he was the only one with the guts to say it outright. Before we continue with the video and my further explanation, I want to ask for your help. I'm trying to reach 1,000 subs by the end of the year, so I'd really appreciate it if you would subscribe and help me out. Okay, let's continue. From the moment he stepped into the cockpit, Verstappen felt something was off. He wasn't just driving against Oscar Piastri, Lando Norris, or Charles Leclerc. He was fighting against race control itself. The delayed start, the cautious laps, the FIA's overcorrection after previous wet race criticisms. All of it felt like a betrayal of the sport. We're Formula One drivers. We're not here to wait until it's dry. And then, when the race finally did start, the damage was done. Verstappen started P4, already on the back foot. McLaren had locked out the front row. Red Bull, despite throwing everything at setup tweaks, couldn't match the pace of Piastri and Norris in the wet. The Dutchman immediately found himself stuck behind Leclerc, unable to pass. Spray blinded him, yes, but even worse, the car just wasn't responding. I tried to attack, but when I got close, I lost all grip. The car was floating. For 44 laps, Verstappen chased shadows. His Red Bull danced through corners, twitched under braking, and melted its tires faster than ever. And through it all, the frustration built. Red Bull attempted a slick tire switch at the perfect crossover point, but it didn't matter. McLaren had already made the move. Ferrari responded. The track was drying, but Verstappen's window was closing. Up front, Oscar Piastri controlled the race with cold precision. Behind him, Norris chased. Leclerc held P3 with quiet authority. And Verstappen? He remained stuck. No wheel-to-wheel drama, no late lunge, just brutal, helpless watching. Honestly, I never really felt I was in that fight. The final result said it all. Piastri P1, Norris P2, Leclerc P3, Verstappen P4. Not a disaster, but a disaster in context, because with that finish, Max slipped to 81 points behind in the championship. The title fight is now an uphill battle, but the real explosion came after the checkered flag. In the post-race pen, Verstappen didn't hold back. We can't keep doing this. It's Formula One. If you're scared of water on the track, you shouldn't be here. He tore into the FIA's caution, called the race direction safe to a fault, and reminded everyone that this is a sport built on bravery. And that quote? If you can't see, you can always lift. It's already legendary. A line that will divide fans, pundits, and even drivers for months. Some call it dangerous, reckless, arrogant. Others call it old school racing. Truth. Verstappen, unfiltered. This isn't just about Spa. It's about a growing rift in F1. On one side, you have drivers like Verstappen who want racing to remain raw, risky, and real. On the other, an increasingly cautious governing body trying to avoid headlines. But in trying to make the sport safer, the FIA is changing its soul, and Verstappen is the face of the rebellion. We're losing what makes Formula One, Formula One. That's what this was really about. Not a rain delay, not P4. It was about the direction of the sport. Max isn't just fighting for another title, he's fighting for the identity of Formula One. And fans are starting to rally behind him. Social media erupted after his comments, with hashtags like "Let Them Race" and FIA out trending across racing communities. Verstappen's stance became a rallying cry for those tired of over-regulation. It's not just about Spa anymore. It's about every neutered start, every cautious call, every lost moment of racing purity. The growing divide between entertainment and safety has never felt wider. And Max? He's ready to stand alone if he has to. I'm here to race. If they want a parade, go organize one. This isn't the end of the battle. It's just the beginning. The next races will be more than just races. There'll be protests, platforms, stages for Verstappen to double down on his stance. And don't be surprised if more drivers begin to speak out too. The silence can't last forever. The FIA may have intended to keep everyone safe, but what they did instead was light a fire under the most competitive driver on the grid. And a fired-up Verstappen is the last thing the paddock needs when the championship is wide open. This could mark the start of a seismic shift in the power dynamic between drivers and race control. Because when racers stop racing, fans stop watching. And that's something no one, not even the FIA, can afford. The championship isn't over, but the momentum has shifted. McLaren is flying, Ferrari is threatening, and Red Bull? They're rattled. Verstappen will bounce back. He always does. But Spa exposed something deeper. This season isn't just fast cars and tire strategies. It's a war for the soul of the sport, and Max Verstappen is leading the charge.